have been told to go and pay my fees. I have been paid to go and pay my fees. So it means that you have two troubles now. Then when you are trying to solve it, another thing comes in. So with this, it becomes a lot at the same time. And this can also affect your health. Yes, then we said a chronic one. The chronic stress is the stress that you live with all the time. All the time. You don't have a pleasant manager at work. You go to work and it's like you are in hell. But there's no work anywhere, so you have to try and function. You have to try and cope. You are in a bad situation in the house, probably a bad relationship. You don't want to quit. And so you are forced to stay in and accommodate all that is going on. So they are the stresses that you have to keep on with. For example, if you have an ailment that doesn't have a cure, a chronic illness, it's with you all the time. You have to find a way of coping. So this is the chronic one. Okay, in all of this, whether acute, episodic, or chronic, they all call for a change and they all affect our health. So that is stress that affects our health. Okay, so having known all this, having known the classification as being functioning and duration, we are saying that there is acute, episodic, and then chronic. Okay, so with all this, then what do we do? What do we do? I want us to, before we get to what do we do, I want us to look at the effect of stress on us. How do we respond? How do we respond when you face stress? When individual faces stress, it affects us in 3 areas. It affects our physiological being. That means that our total human being, or it affects the way we think, and it affects the way we behave. Okay, so what happens under our total human being? Here, it affects our hormones. It affects our immunity, the way we respond to illness. It breaks your system down because you put in so much effort mentally and all to fight this battle. So it really brings you down. Then when we talk about the response according to our thinking, okay? So when you're affected by the thinking process, it affects your way of putting yourself together. The way you interpret it affects you. It affects, it makes you confused. It gives you negative thought pattern. It doesn't make you think so well. It also makes you anxious and depressed. It can cause depression, it can cause anxiety. It can also let you feel overwhelmed. You don't know how to solve it, and you are stuck in between. You are just shivering. You are just fumbling. You don't know what to do with yourself. Then it also slows down your thought process. If you are really bombarded with a lot of stress, especially the episodic one, those that come in a lot at the same time, it leaves you in a state of slow thinking. You are not able to process your thoughts well. There's also difficulty in concentration. Assuming you are experiencing chronic stress, you are always confused and you lose concentration. Even at work, it can affect your work because you are not concentrating. It also makes you, puts you in a difficult situation to make decisions. So it makes decision making very difficult. Okay, so then that is for how it affects your mind or the way you think. Then stress, the way we also respond to stress according to our behavior. Behavior, what happens? Behavior It makes you sleep poorly. You can't sleep well. Your sleep pattern becomes so poor. There's change in concentration, lack of concentration. You become so angry easily, hostility. There's also memory impairment. And some people, when they are stressed out, they, excuse me to say, they argue out senselessly. You know, they will argue out without even analyzing what they are talking about. And then it also makes you, it leads you to make mistakes on the job. So these are some of the responses, how we respond to stress in terms of behavior. Okay, so all that I talked about, the things I talked about, I was trying to talk about how we respond to stress. And we said that we respond to stress with our body, from our body, then from our mind, and then our behavior. Okay, so having talked about all these plenty things, then how does it affect us? There's a difference between the response and the effect. How does stress affect us? Assuming you are undergoing acute stress, episodic stress, or chronic stress, how does it affect you? So we are going to look at the negative effect of stress. So when we look at the negative effect of stress, I want us to look at it in terms of our health. So with our health, it affects us such that it can lead to hypertension. It can also lead to asthma. Stress can also lead to heart attack. It can lead to stroke. It can lead to chronic headaches and migraine. It can even lead to peptic ulcers, the ulcers we know. It can lead to so many things, even diabetes and cancers. So these are some of the health hazards that the stress can bring on us. And mostly chronic stress can bring all of this on us because you are always going through the same thing all over again. You don't know how to solve it. Okay, so having talked about this, then let's look at another bad effect, negative effect of the stress. It can also affect our psychological being. Psychological being, meaning that it will affect you psychologically. And what are we talking about under psychology, under your psychological being? There will be anxiety. I've said it before. There will be depression. There will be fear. No fear that you can't control. There's also loss of confidence because when you go through so much, probably you have a place, your accommodation is not good, and you even want a friend to come and visit you. You wouldn't want the friend to come because where you are staying is not good, okay? And all these things takes away your confidence. It takes away your self-esteem. So psychologically, you feel low self-esteem. You feel there's loss of confidence. There's also loss of faith and hope. It can also affect you in such that you feel guilty with the things that are happening to you. Probably you start blaming yourself for being the cause of all that. And some of it also leads to certain reactions like drug abuse and all other misconduct that will not bring good reports on you. Okay, so these are some of the effects of the stress, the negative effects. We can also be affected negatively socially. Okay, socially, you may not even want to associate with anybody. You want to be alone. You want to be isolated. Socially, you even lose friends. You find it difficult making friends because you are not a happy person. There's also the issue of substance abuse. Like I said, there's aggressiveness. You are always abusing people. You know, some of these people who keep abusing others here and there, it's not because they want to do this. Some of them are under stress that they don't know how to manage themselves. So they tend to abuse others. They tend to abuse others. Okay. So having looked at all this that I have talked about plenty, then how do we manage it? If we are undergoing such a stressful moment, how do we manage them? Okay, so the management of stress can be grouped under two levels: individual management and then group management. Individual management meaning that what you can do as an individual to manage your stress, and then what you can do by soliciting other help from other people. So when we talk about the individual one, then we are looking at the fact that individually there are certain things that you need to do to help you do well. Okay, so what then can you do? I have termed better lifestyle. You should lead a very good lifestyle, and under that, you should try and eat well and drink well. You know, I talked about malnutrition when I was talking about the effect of stress. So you should try and eat well, drink a lot of water. There's a book I read about water. It's a water therapy. The water really makes an individual grow healthier. Okay, so you drink a lot of water, you eat well. As for food, we all know what it does to us, but we are not saying eat anything at all. Eat good diets. Those times we say balanced diet, but good nutritious diet. Okay, then you should also exercise. No, we should all try and exercise. We are all guilty of this, but then we should try and exercise. We should exercise because exercise shapes our body system. I don't want to go into that much because it's a whole topic of itself, but there's one important hormone that exercise produces, and that hormone is a naturally happier hormone. It makes the individual happy naturally. So we could see that those who do sports all the time, they are all the time happier. No, they seem to be happy, even if they have issues or they have problems, they are still happy because they naturally produce a hormone that makes them happy. Then we should also try and sleep well and rest. You know, if you don't sleep well and then you wake up and go about your work, you don't feel so sharp. You feel so dull. Sometimes you become angry with yourself. You know, the whole day doesn't go well with you. So we should try and sleep well. We should also minimize the intake of alcohol and cigarettes or smoking. It will even be better if we don't go on it at all, because if we try going on it and it calms us down, we will try using it as something to solve our stress, which will not be very good for us. Then we should also try and take time off, especially those of us who are working. We shouldn't ignore our leave periods. When your annual leave is due, kindly take it and go and rest. You need that rest. So we should try and rest. And there's something here. We should be assertive. Assertive meaning that you should try and speak your mind, but you speak it in a way that will not affect anybody. There's difference between assertiveness and aggression. So we should try and speak our mind and let people understand us. For example, if you are somebody whose work is such that you have to take orders, if you can't do it, tell the person that, oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. I have to, probably I can do it another time. Then the person will know, don't take it on. If you take it on, you are forced to finish all, and it puts stress on you. So try and be assertive. If somebody is doing something that you don't like it, kindly let a person know in a polite way that, oh, I'm not happy with what is going on. You don't sit down and then take it and cry over it or think about it. No, we should try to be assertive. You should also try and have a way of solving problems. You should have a problem solving method, a good problem solving method or technique. There are so many ways of solving problems. Don't think that this problem cannot be solved. I always tell my clients that there's nothing under the sun which doesn't have a solution. Everything under the sun has a solution. If you are going through a problem in one way or the other, all that you need to do is to sit down quietly, analyze what you are going through, and then find solution to it. You don't have to just hang on the problem and then hammering on the problem all the time. There wouldn't be solution. Just ask yourself, what is it that is happening? So you define the problem, and then you go on to find solution to them, and you'll be okay. So that is an example of how to solve problems. So find a good way to solve your problems. Okay, then also, we should also learn how to cultivate humor. Like sometimes, yeah, just make yourself happy. Say something to laugh. Join people who can even make you laugh. For laughter is also good. It relieves you of tension. So try and find a way of making yourself a happier person. And there's something I always tell people, and they laugh. It's all because they always laugh because I tell them that try and be good to your own self. Mm-hmm. Treat yourself well. Yeah. Give yourself a good treat. And what do I mean by this? I mean that pamper your own self. Go and sit somewhere, get a bottle of minerals, get some chicken, grilled chicken or fried chicken or kebab, and enjoy it.
It's very necessary.
All of my soul.
Yeah.
Joyce, you are the one who goes to work every day. Is it your child who goes to work every day? You go to work and sweat and sweat. At the end of the month, you have to push all your money somewhere. Yeah. No, try and give yourself a good treat. Sit somewhere, enjoy it. Sometimes you can even go and sit by the beach, at the beach, and look at the waves. You know, as you watch the waves, it's therapeutic. As it comes in and goes, you enjoy nature. You can even go to the forest, sit and enjoy the rattling of the leaves and the birds and all that. It takes your mind from yourself and you concentrate on other things to make you happier, which we call diversional therapy. You divert your thoughts, okay? So treat yourself well. Buy something good for yourself, dress up well, eat well, enjoy yourself. You'll be you'll be good to go. Okay, then you should also learn to relax. Okay, we should learn some relaxation techniques that will help you. If you talk about relaxation, we in psychology we have so many relaxation techniques. The simplest one I can teach quickly now is the deep breathing exercise. When you are overwhelmed, kindly sit somewhere quietly. Go and sit in your sofa. Relax yourself and then start breathing in and out. The breathing in and out is not the one we do at school. That breathe in, out. No, that's not what we mean. We mean a proper breathing in with the mind that when you breathe in more oxygen. And the oxygen goes with the blood, which the medical terms we say hemoglobin, and travels through your system to refresh your system and then brings out the carbon dioxide. So breathing in and out, the simplest I'm teaching those who can see me is that sit in your sofa, put one hand on your stomach, put one on your chest, and then breathe in and out. For you to know that you are doing something good is that when you breathe in, take in a very deep breath, Okay, you relax, you start thinking about something good that has happened to you before. Then you breathe in, taking a very deep breath, like I'm doing for some time, and hold it. So as you breathe in, well, you realize that the hand on your abdomen will be going in. Then the one on your chest will be popping out. Okay. So when you breathe in, it comes out, your chest comes out together with your hand, and your abdomen goes in. Then you breathe out. So you breathe in very well, hold it for a while, and you breathe out slowly, slowly. So as you breathe slowly, the one on your hand, on your abdomen, comes out. So you see that your chest will go back, your abdomen will pop out. That is a very good way of breathing. So you do this for about 5 or 10 times, whilst concentrating on yourself, on
Wow.
the very good things. You realize that at a point you even fall asleep. You fall asleep, you wouldn't even know. By the time you realize you have slept, and then you wake up so refreshed. So when you are tensed out, don't sit down just like that. Try to relax yourself with the breathing in and out. Okay, so this is the simplest I can teach you. We have one called progressive. The progressive, we do it from head to toe. So that one, it takes time. Okay, so that is one of the relaxation techniques. Okay, then you should also learn to grieve. Okay, when you are faced with a sad news or a bad news, try and grieve. Don't tell yourself that if I weep, they will say I'm weak. No. If I sit down quietly, they will say I'm weak. Try and weep out. Release your emotions. You know, sometimes the men will say that they are men, you don't have to cry.
Yeah.
And they bottle it. At the end of the day, they go to sit somewhere and it's killing them.
Yeah.
No, try and grieve. Try and share, no, release the pain you have. You can cry. You can go to your room, cry. If you don't want to cry for people to see, go to your room and cry. Cry. Hit your pillow. Do all that you can. Then at the end of the day, you become calm, you sleep for a while, and you come out. So it helps. So don't say that you want to bottle it. It will not help you. You should also, in managing grief individually, we should also try to forgive. Forgiveness is a therapy. If you learn to forgive, you become calm. If somebody hurts you and you don't forgive, it piles up. You will be under tension because when you see the person, you start panicking. Your heart starts beating. You become so angry. When you become angry, it affects you. And it doesn't really help you to think forward, to think ahead. Okay, so we should try to forgive. If you forgive yourself for what you have done and forgive others, you'll be a happier person. And it will give you the opportunity to move on to better your future. So we should learn to forgive. Then we should also learn to accept change. Okay, when it calls for a sudden change, learn to accept change. Don't say that, oh, me, I want to work here, and they say I should go and work in the other office. I don't want it. No, you don't know what the other office has for you. Just accept it. It is your work. You can work anywhere. Just go. And you realize that that is even where your star will shine. So accept change and don't be static. Just keep on accepting it. And then you should also develop a positive attitude towards life. You know, you shouldn't go by negative attitude. Develop a positive attitude. Tell yourself that that is life. It is normal to face all this. And then think about what you can do. Think positively all the time. Negative thinking will put you under stress. So learn to be positive. And then we can also learn to talk to ourselves. Not the way my mental health people do. No, my abnormal people do. But then talk to yourself, talk to your soul. Tell yourself that no, you don't need this. You tell yourself, no, Paulina, you don't need this.
Yeah.
Lena, this is not good for you. You don't have to accept this. No, there's something you can do. Check yourself out and move on. So you talk to yourself. When you talk to yourself, you are able to move on. Then you should also try to stop your thoughts. The thoughts that is giving you stress, try and stop it. You stop it. Try and stop it. Stop your thoughts. Give yourself a command. It's done by giving yourself a command. Then when you feel you are thinking about things that are giving you so much stress, you remember I said that stress can come from the way we think, the way we interpret things. So when you keep on interpreting things that is giving you discomfort, then you stop it. You tell yourself that, no, this is not good. No, stop it. Stop thinking about this. No, there are so many pleasant things to think about. Just analyze this. So you give yourself a command and it helps you. It's a skill. When you practice it, you become used to it. When you can't do it once and succeed, if you practice it, you become used to it. So stop it. Then you should also avoid pressure situations, high pressure situations, situations that will put you under pressure. Avoid it. So with me, when I have something to do, I try to prepare ahead. And I tell my children that when I prepare ahead, it gives me the confidence to do what I have to do. And I prepare ahead to give me time to be able to put my thought together and function better. So I don't prepare maybe 5 minutes to time, no, or an hour to time, no. I can prepare days before that time. Then I relax about it. So you don't pressure yourself. Don't give yourself pressure. And then you should also manage your time. Plan your time. Don't put things together. Tell yourself that when I wake up at 6, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. When I was young, I used to admire my husband so much. He will wake up. By the time he wakes up, he has listed what he's going to do for the day. So he will paste it at the door and go about his work. And I learned it. So when you do that, at the end of the day, you look at it, then ask yourself, was I able to achieve all? If you were not able to achieve all, ask yourself, what really happened? You don't feel tensed out. What really happened? Probably you wasted your time somewhere, or you did something instead of what you have to do. So another time you check it. That is time management. Manage your time, plan what to do at all times. Yes, sometimes something may come up, the unforeseen may come up, but it is not always. So if you plan your time, you don't put yourself under pressure and you don't become so scared and you don't become so stressful. Okay, so that is time management. Okay, then you should also prioritize your activities. Put your activities according to the importance, how you see it. Those of us who did economics, there's something we call it scale of preference.
Preference, yeah, scale of preference.
Scale of preference, you plan your time, you plan whatever you have in order of importance, then you go about it. If you do that, you feel calm. But if you want to solve everything together, you will not. That is when you feel so overwhelmed because you want to solve everything together. Yes, with the episodic stress I talked about, so many stresses coming to you at the same time. Ask yourself, which one is important? Yes, my house is flooded. I have my work to finish at the workplace. I have something else to do. Which one is more important? Probably somebody will say that let me go home and solve the flooding issue. So that is it. Plan according to the how you see it, importance, the importance of it. So by the end of the day, you have solved all. You have solved all without sweat. Then also, you should also plan to alternate plan. What do I mean by this? When you plan, don't be static. That, I have planned that today, I have to today, no matter what happens, I will have to travel. And something comes up that you can't travel. Just leave it and forget about it and travel another time. Don't put yourself under stress that, no, I have to finish this quickly, and so that I can go. You put yourself under stress.
Necessary
Plan to
stress.
alternate plan. If you have planned to probably finish your work at a particular time and something comes up, just think about it and then alternate your plan and be fine. Don't put yourself under pressure. Okay. Then there's also something I want us to know. We should also try to react less intensely when something happens to you. What do I mean by this? You should manage your anger. I didn't want to say anger straight away, but you should manage your anger. You shouldn't follow whatever your emotions are bringing to you and react in a bad way. React calmly. Ask yourself, what is happening? Why did it happen? How can I solve it? If you think the situation in which you are is making you too angry, move away. And I teach people how to move away. Moving away can be physical or can be mental. Mentally, you are in the room with the person, but your mind is not there.
Yeah.
Your mind has been diverted onto something else. Probably you will start thinking about something pleasant for you or something you have to do. And so the person will be talking, thinking that you are hearing him or her. You are not hearing him or her. You have diverted your thoughts from him. So you have moved away from that angry situation. You can also move away physically if there's opportunity. You just move out quietly. Fine. When you move out quietly, you don't just move out. You go to calm yourself down. You calm your system down. There are some 5 steps I teach people. When you move away, the first thing is you stop whatever you are doing. The second is to move away. When you move away, you go to calm yourself down. You calm yourself down by doing this breathing exercise that I taught. You do the deep breathing exercise to calm your nerves down. Then when you realize you have calmed down, then you ask yourself what was really happening. You define the problem. What was making you angry? When you have defined it, then you ask yourself again, how can I solve it? Or what can I do so that it will not come up again? Okay, so you find solution to whatever that was bringing the anger or was creating the angry situation. Okay, so that is how you can briefly manage your anger. Then you should, those of us who are managers at work, you should learn to delegate. Okay, if you don't delegate, you will try to do everything alone, and that will overwhelm you. Delegate and supervise. You have to give this work to this person, share it among them, and make sure each and every one does what he's supposed to do. So you delegate and then you supervise. At the end of the day, the work you have done alone will have been done by other people for you. That is what the same economics says, that division of labor. So you divide it slowly, divide it, and then you supervise to make sure the work is done. So don't think that, there are some people who do not appreciate anything anybody does. So they think that this person will not do it well, so I have to do it. When you go on doing that, you'll be stressed out. So as a manager, you try to delegate and then you supervise. Okay, so this is some, not all, some of the way we can manage our stress as individuals. Okay, then in a group, how can we manage our stress in a group? I said individuals and in a group. So in a group, how can you manage your stress? Yes, in a group, you try to share. There's peer sharing and feedback. Share what you are going through with trusted people, not with anybody at all, with people who can help you, who will not worsen your situation for you. So you share. When you share, probably there's a friend who has an answer to what you are going through or what you are looking for. Oh, please, I need this, I need that, or I have this problem at hand. How do I solve it? There will be somebody who has the skill and the person will teach you. So you share, okay? Then there's also networking. Try to connect to other people. When you connect to other people, you will get something that will help you solve a situation that you are handling. Okay, then you should also learn to, I said recreational, go with people, go physical exercise and all. You go and exercise, and then you should accept support. Okay, we need to accept support from other people. Don't think that you can do it alone. Accept support. You know, sometimes when something happens, people think, oh, if I take this from this person, the person will think that had it not been for her support, I wouldn't be able to solve my issue.
Yeah.
Think about the stress you are going through and bury your pride, okay?
Yeah.
Just bury your pride and take that thing the person wants to give you to help you solve the situation you have. So learn to accept support. And if you do accept support, it will help you very, very well. And in the individual group, you can also encourage yourself, each and everyone. You know, sometimes that person has faced that issue before or has gone through that problem before. So the person will say that, oh, okay, I did this, I did that. It will be well. It will not keep long. It will not take the whole year. It will come to an end. You see? So you encourage yourself. For example, the global the pandemic we are experiencing, COVID, it's global. So it's a group solution that we want. It is not only one country, or it's not affecting only one person. We are many. So we take encouragement from each other and we keep going. So you need to encourage each other and then help each other to move on. So these are some of the things you can also do in a group. Most importantly, accept support. When you accept support, it will help you. Okay. So having talked about all this, these are some of the things we can do to manage the stress. I have talked a lot. So if you really, if you're able to capture something, I think it will be good. But in summary, I just want to give you a simple way that you can solve your stress. In summary, we can also solve stress by using the word stress itself.
Okay.
So those who are sitting somewhere, you can write. Okay. You can manage the stress by using the word stress itself. So the first S, okay, is eat sensibly. That is eat well. Okay. So sensible eating. Then the T is take time to enjoy yourself. Take time to enjoy your life. Give yourself a good treat. So take time to enjoy yourself. Then the R is rest and sleep. You rest, you have to rest and sleep. Then we have the Y. The Y is exercise. I told you what exercise can do for us.
Yeah.
It's a natural hormone that makes us happy. Okay. Then the other S, we have S, accept support. Social support. So social support networking for the first S. Then the second is the last one, meaning that satisfy yourself with your expressions in your spirituality and in other things that you do. Okay, so we see we have really dealt with stress.
Yeah.
Simply. Yes. So in summary, we say that stress is inherent for survival, meaning that it is important for survival. So it can be good, it can be bad. Then stress is necessary for our development. Okay, positive stress will help us do something good. Then we should also learn to manage our stress sensibly. So if you go by that, we will turn up to become heroes, and you become master of it and help others to solve their stress. So in the nutshell, this is all about stress, and we should be able to help ourselves. So if we manage the stress well, we become heroes. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Charlotte A.C. Myers. I choose to call her Marsha. Yeah. Thank you so much. I wish it will go on and on and on and on. It's been a wonderful presentation. Trust me. We can't wait to have you on the show again. Okay. But before I go on with anything, there is this one question. Just a moment. Okay, so this person says, anytime I am stressed, I feel heaviness on my chest. Anytime he's stressed, he feels this kind of heaviness in his chest. How can he work on that? I know you spoke about the breathe in, breathe out exercise. I don't know if there is more to it that you can bring on board for him to work with.
Yes, I talked about the effect on our health, effect of stress on our health, and this is one of it. It affects you, so you need to relax yourself and find solution to what is happening to you. When you feel you are stressed out, define the problem that is happening. Ask yourself what is really happening. Find out what is happening, and then go ahead to find solution to it. So when you do that, you become relieved, and that symptoms will also go away because it's a symptom of stress. So when you relieve or you manage your stress, it will also go away without medication. So it doesn't need medication because you are still under the stressful moment. So you need to release or relieve yourself.
And wonderful
so you
people.
can do the breathing exercise.
Okay.
Yes, you can also do the breathing exercise to relieve yourself. Yes.
Okay, so wonderful people, we have come to the question and answer segment. If you have any concerns, you can either raise your hand and we will allow you to ask your question, or you can go to the chat section and then type whatever questions you have there. I have seen somebody bring in a question that children, they form a major part of us. And this is a mother speaking, that sometimes they can really stress. Children can really stress. I mean, when it so happens, what do we do?
Does it mean what do you do for the child, or what do you do as a parent?
Okay, so let's look at it from both angles.
Yes. So you have to ask the child what is really happening to him or her, okay, and help solve the issue with the child. Okay, if it is such that it is affecting you, the reaction of the child is affecting you, the mother or the parent, then you should also try and release yourself by finding solution to what is happening. And remember, I said that there's nothing under the sun that doesn't have a solution. Everything under the sun has a solution. Just stay calmly, analyze the situation, and there will be a way out. So that is how you can help the child out. I think I'm okay.
Yes. Okay, so for those of us who came in late, we are discussing, or we are treating the topic stress management. With me today is Mrs. Charlotte A.C. Myers. She's the Deputy Chief Clinical Psychologist at the Lekma Hospital, Teshi, Accra, Ghana. And so we have said a lot. So if you have any questions regards to stress and how to manage it, we are taking the questions. Let them flow. In no time, we'll be leaving. So if you have any questions, please bring them on board and she will help us deal with it. I keep saying, I get stressed, most times. And so this topic has really helped me. I know it has gone a long way to help a lot of people on the platform right now. Bring your questions on board and let's deal with them. So, Mommy, I have this question that I want to ask personally. Can we avoid stress totally? Can we say that we will live without having stress, whether good or bad?
No. That is why in my summary, I said stress is inherent. Okay, you cannot avoid it. It is with us. And it helps us, and sometimes it's also bad. So stress can never be avoided. It is something that lives with us. And so we should know and solve it appropriately. That is why I initially said it is bad. It is good or bad. It can be good or bad. The good one helps us to do something good. It gives us, it motivates us to move on with whatever we are doing and finish it. But the bad one brings onto us other things affecting our health as well. Yes. So we can never avoid stress.
Okay. So that said, assuming I have an exam to write, I have a paper to write, and I get so nervous. In this sense, am I going to say it is stress or is it anxiety? How am I able to decipher between stress and anxiety?
Okay. Anxiety is extreme fear. Okay. It's an extreme form of fear. Stress is overwhelming situation. So the stress can lead to anxiety. Okay. Yes, the overwhelming situation, probably you haven't read your book for days, your notes for days, and you have the exams. So you feel that, hey, I have a lot to read. Then you start panicking. You get it? You start cultivating fear. Fear of, if I don't really sit up, I'll fail. So the stress will lead on to fear. And anxiety is the extreme form of fear. Okay. We are not doing teachings here. With teachings, we have types of anxiety. Okay, but here we are just putting it together that anxiety is the extreme form of fear. So if you overwhelm yourself with the things you are to read, then it leads to fear, and depression comes in. You become so sad and you're depressed. Okay, so they move together. These three move together.
Okay, so there are these two questions. I want to take the first one. Somebody says, please, how can we manage home, work, and family stress at the same time? So you spoke about multiple stress, coming in. So how do we handle these at the same time?
Yes, I think another time we'll have to talk about work-life balance. Okay, how we can really strike out our working life from our family life. Okay, so in brief, what you have to do is that you should know when you need to work and when you need to attend to your family. You don't put the two together. So if you have to finish your work at your workplace, finish it. As you finish it, you go to the house with the mind that I'm going to do that or that of the family, or I'm going to attend to the family. So when you go to the house, you don't mix the two up. If you are not able to finish your work at the office, and you wish to carry it home, you should have time for it. You tell yourself that I will attend to that one after I have finished with the family issue, or I have finished attending to my family. They are all satisfied, and probably I have taken my shower and sat down for an hour or two. Then probably I go to bed. So you don't put the two together. Have I answered the question?
Yes, I think you have. Yeah. To me, that is so clear. I don't know about the one who asked the question, but I want to believe you have answered. Yeah. So there's another question for you, Mrs. Myers. At a point, you said stress can be good or bad. How can stress be good? And what are some of the examples you can give? One or two examples.
Yes, stress, it can be good. I said it can be good because it helps you to do something good. When you are put under, when you have a little stress, it puts you into action. And I gave example as the exams, or when you have an assignment anywhere to do. If you think of, hey, I have assignment I have to do, hey, I haven't done it, so you quickly go and do it.
Yeah.
And so it helps you solve an issue. So that is how it is good. At the same time, it's always the best example that you can always use is learning. If you have an exams and you don't think of, hey, I have exams tomorrow, I haven't prepared enough, you will just sit there for sitting sake. But if you come in with that thought, the thought pushes you to go and read, and it pushes you to read to understand. So that is it. Unless you haven't really prepared well, then you overwhelmed, and it will end to anxiety, like we said earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to our very last question, this person says, does stress make one fat? I mean, does it make one put on weight? That's what the person wants to know. Okay. Okay, so your answer has been asked.
Doesn't make you weight. The word.
Okay.
Yes, the word stress itself doesn't make you fat. It doesn't cause you to put on weight. It is your reaction. Remember, we talked about your response to stress.
Yeah.
Response coming from your mind, response coming from your body, response coming from your behavior. Yeah. So the behavior, other people tend to eat a lot when they're under stress. Others will not also eat. So it can make you grow slim or grow fat. Fat because some people choose to eat to find relief. So they eat anything. They'll go and pick this, they'll go and pick that, they'll go and pick everything. So that is why it turns out that people who are under stress tend to grow fat. But it's not that the stress makes you fat. It is your behavior or your reaction to it that makes you fat.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you very, very much. All too soon, we have come to the end of today's program. This is the Seers Show. It is proudly initiated and sponsored by Prophetess Rhoda Anna of Manifestation of Holiness. Manifestation of Holiness is a non-denominational prayer group. We meet on the same Zoom platform to pray. If you believe in God and the Holy Spirit, you are warmly welcome to join us from Mondays to Fridays. We are here 6 a.m. Europe time, 4 a.m. Ghana time. And then in the afternoons, 4 p.m. Ghana time, and then 6 p.m. Europe time. So the topic we were discussing today was stress and how to manage it. Stress and how to manage it. My seer for today, I call them the seers, because they know things that we might not know. So they are seers. They see a lot of things that we do not know. They are specialized in these areas. So the name Seers. This is the Seers Show. We have come to the end of today's segment. Next week, Sunday, we will be here same time, 12 p.m. US time, 4 p.m. Ghana time, 5 p.m. UK time, and 6 p.m. Europe time. Next week, somebody else is coming on, but Mrs. Myers will definitely come back, not next week, some other time. Put your questions together, like I always say, and then we will Zoom together on the Seers Show. It was so wonderful having you on board. You were wonderful. You were lovely. Your questions, it has helped us to understand. We want to say a very big thank you to Mrs. Myers for doing justice to this topic. We are so grateful. We can't wait to have you one more time. Please, it is going to be bye for now. And I want you to stay safe and stay blessed. My name is Lena, and I am the host for the Seers Show. Bye-bye.